first Oscar and fourth nomination for Joaquin Phoenix.
I want to, when he was 17, my brother wrote this lyric. He said, "Run to the rescue with love and peace will follow." Thank you.
Welcome back to The Stars Rewind. Joaquin Phoenix, a name that not only evokes one of Hollywood's most talented actors, but also stands as a symbol of resilience and triumph over adversity. In every role, he doesn't merely portray a character, he pours his soul and the weight of his painful experiences into creating unforgettable cinematic moments. Yet, behind the spotlight lies a life marked by tragedies and challenges, shadows that even the most poignant scripts could never capture. Joaquin Phoenix has faced poverty, the loss of loved ones, and relentless inner struggles. However, it is precisely these hardships that have shaped the man he is today. A true artist who lives not just for the craft, but also for profound messages about humanity and compassion. But do these sorrows fuel the extraordinary depth of Joaquin's performances, or is it his brilliance that conceals a man constantly battling his own demons? The story of Joaquin Phoenix is not merely one of a rise from poverty to stardom, but also a journey of wrestling with inner conflicts that define who he is today. Is this his liberation, or just his way of coexisting with the darkness forever? Join us as we delve into the life of this extraordinary man, a tale of tragedy, sorrow, and unparalleled brilliance. Joaquin Phoenix. Early life. If the spotlight of today represents Joaquin Phoenix's dazzling peak, then his childhood was a dark and harrowing opening chapter. Born in Puerto Rico in 1974, Joaquin grew up in a nomadic family that embodied the free-spirited ideals of the hippie era. From the moment of his birth, he entered an unstable world where the optimism of the hippie movement clashed with the harsh realities of life. His parents, John Lee Bottom and Arlen Bottom, were not just seekers of freedom, but dreamers who gambled their family's future on a religious cult known as the Children of God. But those dreams quickly turned into a nightmare. At first, the cult promised peace, community, and purpose, aligning with the era's countercultural ideals. Yet beneath the spiritual facade was a system that exploited women as tools to expand the congregation through a practice called flirty fishing, where they used their bodies to lure men into joining. When Joaquin's parents uncovered this reality, they felt not only betrayed, but terrified for their children's future. With no money and nowhere to turn, they made the life-altering decision to escape, a choice that would forever shape the fate of the Phoenix family. Their escape was nothing short of a horror movie. The Bottom family left behind all their belongings, carrying only their 3 small children and fragile hopes for a new life. They boarded a cargo ship with no papers, no possessions, and no certainty, only the goal of returning to the United States. Joaquin, then just 3 years old, couldn't understand why his family was crammed onto the crowded deck of a ship. But one memory stayed with him: his first birthday cake. Gifted by the ship's crew, the small cake was a rare light in those dark days. However, that light quickly dimmed when Joaquin witnessed the slaughter of fish on the ship, a moment that sparked his lifelong decision to become a vegan. Upon arriving in the U.S., the family had little more than their name. To symbolize a new beginning, they chose the surname Phoenix, after the mythical bird that rises from its ashes. But the name change could not erase their bitter reality. The Phoenix family was so poor that they lived crammed into a tiny rented room where rats were their constant companions. Those difficult days were not only lessons in survival, but also the first cracks in the family's foundation. John Lee, Joaquin's father, sank into alcoholism, while Arlen took on the immense burden of raising 5 children. In the midst of poverty, creativity became their only refuge. Joaquin's parents encouraged their children to perform on the streets, singing and dancing to earn coins. But behind the laughter and melodies lay a harsher truth. this was their only way to avoid going to bed hungry. Joaquin, still just a boy, quickly learned that the world wasn't kind to the weak. He toughened up, but also felt the sting of pitying glances and insincere compliments from strangers. Even so, amid the hardships, Joaquin's talent began to emerge, not born of joy, but of pain and loneliness. Performing wasn't just a means of survival, it became Joaquin's way of escaping an uncertain reality. Those years forged a soul full of contradictions, resilient in the face of adversity, yet fragile under the weight of his own inner darkness. But were those turbulent early years enough to mold a resilient Joaquin Phoenix? Or were they merely the prelude to a lifetime of enduring tragedy? The answer lies in the next chapters of his life, a journey both brilliant and haunting, where light and shadow walk hand in hand. Early career. Joaquin Phoenix didn't step into the world of acting as a star illuminated by luck. His journey began with small roles that many might overlook. But for him, they were opportunities to prove that talent can rise above any circumstance. In 1982, at the age of 8, Joaquin made his first on-screen appearance in an episode of the television series 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. Around this time, Joaquin adopted the stage name Leaf Phoenix, a name he chose himself to align with his siblings, whose names were inspired by nature, river, rain, liberty, and summer. But life as a child actor was far from the glamorous image seen by audiences. To secure these roles, the Phoenix family relied heavily on the efforts of their mother, who sought opportunities through connections she built while working at a television studio. Even so, every time Joaquin stepped onto a set, he carried not only the excitement of a child, but also the invisible weight of his family's expectations. Each role was a chance to bring his family closer to escaping poverty. Joaquin's talent began to attract attention when he appeared in television programs like Backwards, The Riddle of Dyslexia, 1984, alongside his brother River. Their collaboration not only captivated audiences, but also established the Phoenix family as a cradle of rare talent. However, as River began to shine as a child star with his breakout role in Stand By Me, 1986, Joaquin found himself at a difficult crossroads. How could he step out of the enormous shadow of his brother, who was hailed by the media as the icon of a generation? Joaquin's answer was resolute. He refused to be a replica of River. He turned down shallow roles and only accepted projects that truly challenged his acting abilities. But this steadfastness also caused Joaquin's career to progress more slowly than his brother's. His early roles in Space Camp, 1986, and Parenthood, 1989, failed to make a significant impact, yet they served as stepping stones that helped Joaquin shape his own acting style. However, amid his efforts to find himself, Joaquin faced an unavoidable tragedy, the loss of his brother and closest artistic companion. When River Phoenix passed away in 1993, Joaquin's fledgling career seemed to collapse along with him. He withdrew from the spotlight and disappeared from public view for 2 years. During this time, Joaquin wrestled not only with the pain of losing his brother, but also with unanswered questions. Was acting truly the path he wanted to pursue, or was it merely a legacy his family expected him to carry on? But Joaquin Phoenix is not one to give up easily. 2 years later, he made his comeback with Gus Van Sant's film To Die For, 1995. This role marked not only his return, but also a declaration. Joaquin was not merely River Phoenix's younger brother. With his distinctive acting style, Joaquin created a unique identity, infusing each character with rare emotional depth. It was during this time that the world began to recognize that Joaquin was not just a talent, but a true artist, one willing to face any challenge in search of his own light. Joaquin Phoenix's early career is not a story of immediate, dazzling success. It is the story of a young man grappling with the darkness of loss, the pressure of expectations, and the haunting shadow of a family legacy. Yet it was these slow, deliberate steps that laid the foundation for his later greatness, where Joaquin would captivate audiences not only with his talent but also with the authenticity and depth he brought to every role. Successful career and achievements. Joaquin Phoenix rose from small, humble roles, each deliberate step paving the way for his remarkable career. If his early years were marked by conflicting starts, his later career became a journey of breakthrough, a testament to dedication and rare talent in the arts. Yet, this path was anything but smooth, marked by immense challenges that forced him to confront himself, push beyond limits, and redefine not only who he was as an actor, but as a true artist. The turning point that propelled Joaquin from an obscure name to the center of the cinematic world was his role as Commodus in Gladiator, 2000. In this epic film, he transformed into a ruthless, power-hungry Roman emperor, fraught with ambition yet painfully weak and insecure. Unlike typical villains, Joaquin brought a deeply layered complexity to Commodus, blending malice with vulnerability in every glance and gesture. This performance earned him his first Oscar nomination and established him as a deeply nuanced actor capable of delving into the psychological core of a character with haunting precision. Gladiator was not just a career milestone, but also a springboard for Joaquin to expand his artistic horizons. Following Gladiator, Joaquin continued to demonstrate his versatility and emotional depth with his portrayal of Johnny Cash in Walk the Line, 2005. This wasn't merely a biographical film about a music legend, but an emotional journey Joaquin fully immersed himself in. He learned to play the guitar, performed all the songs himself, and embodied Johnny Cash with every nuance, from his talent and pride to his vulnerability and struggles with addiction. What made this role especially profound was how Joaquin tapped into the character's deepest emotions, particularly the haunting grief over the loss of Johnny Cash's brother, paralleling Joaquin's own pain from losing his brother River. This dual resonance not only brought authenticity to the film, but also allowed audiences to see both Johnny and Joaquin as one. The role earned him a Golden Globe, but the cost was significant. After the film, Joaquin had to confront his own struggles with alcoholism, a toll from his intense immersion into the character. Despite the success of Walk the Line, Joaquin never stopped pushing boundaries. In 2012, he stunned audiences again with his role as Freddie Quell in The Master. The film was not only an intellectually rich cinematic work, but also a platform for Joaquin to showcase his extraordinary acting prowess. Freddie Quell, a troubled and alcoholic war veteran, was a character full of contradictions, both pitiable and terrifying. Joaquin didn't just act. He lived in every moment of the character, drawing audiences into the tormented soul of Freddie, making them both repelled and empathetic. This flawless performance earned him his third Oscar nomination and solidified his place among the finest actors of his generation. Joaquin's career was not confined to roles of intense psychological depth. In 2013, he took on a completely different challenge with Her. In this film, he played Theodore Twombly, a lonely man who finds love through an artificial intelligence system. Without the need for dramatic scenes or grand monologues, Joaquin relied solely on his expressions, subtle mannerisms, and voice to craft a deeply resonant character, embodying the raw loneliness and longing for love with heartbreaking authenticity. Her was more than an unusual love story. It was a delicate portrait of human isolation in the modern world, with Joaquin as its beating heart. However, the pinnacle of Joaquin Phoenix's career came with his portrayal of the Joker in the 2019 film of the same name. This was not only a monumental challenge, but a career-defining moment. To prepare for the role, Joaquin lost over 50 pounds, delved deeply into the psychology of those suffering from mental illness, and fully immersed himself in the life of Arthur Fleck, a man abandoned by society, transforming from a fragile outcast into a symbol of chaos. Joaquin didn't just portray the Joker, he created a profoundly human version of the character, where every instance of madness was rooted in suppressed pain. The role earned him his first Academy Award, but more importantly, it cemented him as one of the rare actors capable of redefining an iconic character. Joaquin Phoenix's career is built not only on exceptional performances, but also on an unwavering spirit of self-challenge. He doesn't act for fame or awards, but to explore the hidden corners of humanity and tell stories others dare not tell. Each of Joaquin's roles is a journey, not just for him, but also for his audience, inviting them to confront pain, conflicts, and hope. Joaquin Phoenix is not merely an actor, he is a true artist, one who uses his craft to heal his wounds and connect with the world. Personal tragedies and inner struggles. If the brilliance of his career is what the public sees, the darkness of personal tragedies and inner struggles is a part of Joaquin Phoenix that he rarely reveals. Yet, it is these very pains that have shaped a man of extraordinary depth, where talent and suffering intertwine, leaving audiences not just in awe, but deeply haunted. The first tragedy, and one that remains an unhealed wound, was the death of River Phoenix. The brother Joaquin not only admired, but considered an inseparable part of his life. On Halloween night in 1993, River, then one of Hollywood's brightest stars, collapsed outside the Viper Room, while Joaquin and his sister Rain were present. Joaquin's haunting 911 call, filled with desperation and panic, became a media spectacle for years to follow. But behind the headlines lay a shock that Joaquin has never fully overcome. River was not just a brother, but a guide and companion on Joaquin's artistic journey. His death left Joaquin adrift, not only in his career but in his personal life. He withdrew from acting for 2 years, enveloped in a silence and grief that no one could penetrate. This loss was more than a psychological wound. It was the beginning of years of inner turmoil. Joaquin carried with him the feeling that River should have been the one to continue shining, that his own success was an injustice compared to River's untimely death. This sense of guilt became an inseparable part of Joaquin's performances, where he often embodied characters who were wounded and lost between reality and expectation. But the losses didn't end there. Joaquin's life became a series of continuous struggles, forcing him to confront shadows far larger than himself. During the filming of Walk the Line, his portrayal of Johnny Cash, a man who also lost a brother in a tragic accident, forced Joaquin to relive his own grief. This profound empathy led to an extraordinary performance, but also pushed him into a personal crisis. After the film, Joaquin found himself relying on alcohol to cope with the pressure and emptiness he felt. He voluntarily admitted himself to rehab, not only to free himself from alcohol, but also to seek peace within his soul. A near-fatal car accident in 2006 marked another turning point in Joaquin's life. When his car flipped over on Sunset Strip, he was left in a life-threatening situation, seconds away from lighting a cigarette, unaware of a gas leak from the vehicle. The timely intervention of director Werner Herzog, who pulled Joaquin away from disaster, did not just save his life, but forced him to confront the fragility of his existence. Joaquin didn't view the incident as mere luck, but as a stark reminder that he couldn't keep avoiding the reality of life. The loss of friends also became an inseparable part of Joaquin's journey. His close relationship with Heath Ledger, a kindred spirit who shared his artistic values, left a lasting void after Ledger's sudden death in 2008. When Joaquin won the Oscar for Joker in 2019, he paid tribute to Ledger, calling him one of the greatest actors he had ever known. The consecutive deaths of loved ones and friends not only left Joaquin in profound grief, but deepened the sense of isolation and loss that seemed to constantly surround him. Joaquin Phoenix's life has not been a series of unending triumphs. Behind the spotlight is a man perpetually torn between living for his art and seeking ways to heal himself. He has admitted to being a perfectionist to the point of self-destruction, often feeling unsatisfied with his accomplishments. Yet, these very contradictions are what drive Joaquin forward, pushing him to seek roles that either soothe or at least help him confront the darkness within. The tragedies and inner struggles have defined Joaquin Phoenix not just as an exceptional actor, but as a symbol of human complexity and beauty. His story is one of a man forever standing on the edge between light and darkness, where pain never truly fades, but becomes the wellspring of all creative inspiration. It is this contrast that has made Joaquin Phoenix an irreplaceable phenomenon in cinematic history. Personal life. Though celebrated as one of the world's most acclaimed stars, Joaquin Phoenix has chosen a different path, one that separates his personal life from the limelight. Rarely does he allow the public a glimpse into his private world, but within this guarded existence lies a deeply emotional and introspective individual, constantly seeking connection through love and family. Joaquin has always maintained a close bond with the Phoenix family, particularly with his sisters Rain, Liberty, and Summer. After River's death, his family became his sole refuge during those dark days. His mother, Arlen Phoenix, whom Joaquin affectionately calls Heart, was not only the one who raised him, but also the greatest source of inspiration in his life. She led the family out of the Children of God cult, and despite Joaquin's turbulent childhood, her love was the guiding light during his moments of despair. However, his relationship with his father, John Lee Bottom, was starkly different. John Lee retreated from public life early on and passed away from cancer in 2015, a loss Joaquin has only briefly mentioned in interviews, leaving questions about the distance between father and son. In love, Joaquin has not been one to open his heart easily. He had a 3-year relationship with actress Liv Tyler in the late 1990s, a peaceful and genuine connection. However, the two eventually parted ways amicably, with mutual respect. After Liv Tyler, Joaquin experienced a few fleeting relationships, but none that were particularly serious. He has admitted that loving and trusting someone has always been a significant challenge due to past wounds that made him cautious about letting others into his world. A turning point in Joaquin's personal life came when he met Rooney Mara, a talented actress and his kindred spirit. The two first crossed paths on the set of Her, 2013. But at the time, they were just friends. Joaquin later confessed that he initially thought Rooney didn't like him because of her quiet and reserved demeanor. However, their relationship gradually deepened while working together on the film Mary Magdalene, 2018, where Joaquin played Jesus and Rooney portrayed Mary Magdalene. Their shared empathy and connection through art blossomed into a quiet but steadfast love, shielded from media scrutiny. Joaquin and Rooney Mara became engaged in 2019 and welcomed their first son, River Phoenix, in 2020. Naming their child after Joaquin's late brother was not only a way to honor River's memory, but also a testament to the love Joaquin holds for his family. Joaquin has shared that becoming a father has transformed his outlook on life, helping him move past his fixation on the past and focus more on the present. For him, his small family with Rooney and their son is a sanctuary of peace after years of inner turmoil. Beyond love and family, Joaquin is renowned for his simplicity and compassion. A lifelong vegan since childhood, his decision stems from memories of witnessing the slaughter of animals. An outspoken advocate, Joaquin has tirelessly championed animal rights and environmental issues. His moving speech at the 2020 Academy Awards was not just an acknowledgement of his career, but also a profound message about human rights, compassion, and humanity's responsibility to the world. Despite these meaningful aspects of his life, Joaquin's personal world is not devoid of loneliness. He has admitted that fame and the expectations of the public often make him feel disconnected from the world around him. Joaquin is a man who lives in two extremes, one of deep connection with his family and love, and another of isolation that continually haunts him. Nevertheless, he seeks to reconcile these opposing forces, transforming his personal experiences into inspiration for his art. Joaquin Phoenix's life, much like his roles, is a journey filled with contradictions and emotions. Behind his reserved demeanor and quiet nature lies a man of profound sensitivity, cherishing the relationships that matter most. From his love for family and his bond with Rooney Mara to his role as a father, Joaquin has shown that even when shrouded in darkness, he can find light in the most meaningful and intimate connections. Present life and legacy. At 50, Joaquin Phoenix is no longer just a movie star. He has become a living symbol of resilience and artistry. After decades of immersing himself in haunting roles and battling personal tragedies, he has found a new balance, a life where family, art, and compassion blend seamlessly to create a more fulfilled Joaquin Phoenix than ever before. In 2024, Joaquin continues his challenging artistic journey with major projects. He reunites with audiences in Joker, Folie à Deux, the sequel to the 2019 masterpiece Joker, which earned him his first Academy Award. While the film is steeped in psychological intensity and demands profound transformation, Joaquin once again proves he is never content with repeating himself. His portrayal of Arthur Fleck in the sequel is not merely a continuation but a deeper exploration of the human psyche, further showcasing his timeless talent. Beyond Joker, Joaquin is also working on ambitious projects with acclaimed directors such as Lynn Ramsey and Ari Aster. These ventures promise to delve into the complexities of the human soul, territory where Joaquin has always excelled. Yet, away from the spotlight, he embraces a simple life centered on his family. Joaquin and his wife, actress Rooney Mara, maintain a low profile, dedicating their time to raising their two young children, especially their eldest son, River Phoenix, a name imbued with profound meaning, honoring Joaquin's late brother. Joaquin Phoenix's legacy extends far beyond prestigious awards and iconic roles. It lies in how he has redefined what it means to pursue true artistry. He has never chosen the easy path of a Hollywood star, but instead seeks out complex roles, profound stories, and characters that demand sacrifices both physical and emotional. This is why every role Joaquin takes on bears his unmistakable mark, unique, irreplaceable, and impossible to replicate. Above all, Joaquin Phoenix's greatest legacy may be found in how he lives, a life filled with contradictions yet never ceasing to seek harmony. From the pain of loss to enduring inner battles, Joaquin has used his art as a means of healing and inspiration. He is a living testament to the power of rising from the darkness, a symbol of determination and authenticity. While his performances will forever remain etched in the minds of audiences, it is Joaquin himself, with all his flaws and profound compassion, who makes him a true legend. Joaquin Phoenix's life is not just a story of glory and tragedy, but a lesson in facing adversity, embracing one's shadows, and transforming them into an everlasting source of light. This is the legacy he leaves behind for cinema and the world. What are your thoughts on Joaquin Phoenix's extraordinary journey of overcoming adversity? What impresses you the most about him? His talent, resilience, or his ability to turn pain into art? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more inspiring stories. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.